Welcome to the WDW News Today Podcast. My name's Eric Morton. With me is Tom Corliss. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
Well, fall is in the air. It's been many weeks since we started this journey. I'm wearing long sleeves today because there's a little bit of that fall chill in the air.
I didn't change my shirt to the right shirt.
Well, you just got back from Norway, so this feels warm to you.
Yeah.
So you are tropical.
No, I meant like I had a shirt for each of these podcasts, and it's fine. We'll live. This is not the Adventureland episode.
No,
it's fine.
that is definitely an Adventureland shirt.
Yes, absolutely.
But it doesn't feature some of our newest additions to Adventureland. So
No,
okay.
it does not feature Hathaway Brown's
Pilot
Sky
thing.
Gliders
Yeah.
or whatever it's called.
Do you want to know what they were called?
Oh, it had a name.
Oh yeah, Hathaway Brown's Aviator Quest.
Oh, I was going to call it Hathaway
Wasn't
Brown's
great.
Budget
We
Airline.
could probably workshop that. All right. So before we get going, welcome back. It's good to see you back from Norway. And we have a snack, more world market stuff. I think I need to get more creative because I really don't want to eat these. These sound awful. These are Lay's, I guess, I don't know what language that is, but they are scallop flavor.
Yep.
It does taste like a scallop, but in a weird way.
A very seasoned scallop. They're not atrocious. I wouldn't want them, but they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be.
They're bad up front. They get a little better.
That like seasoning kicks in.
3 out of 7.
The salt and there's something else going on there. Yeah, like a 3.
3 out of 7.
Whatever.
Maybe it needs more MSG.
Ooh, made my nose run.
Oh boy. It is fall, Tom. Watch out for those colds coming on.
You know,
Seasonal cold.
must have caught it in Norway.
Probably so. All right.
Those Norway people are believing this. By the way.
So if you've been following, what we've been up to is very little banter because Tom's been too busy traveling. And we are creating Disney World theme parks, and we are fixing them. Is that the
Yeah, I think going around fixing them.
fixing them? We're taking extreme measures in some cases.
Yeah.
So we've already done Main Street USA. You can watch that episode. After Main Street USA, we did Adventureland. Then our last episode was Frontierland / Liberty Square
/
Beyond a little bit.
Yeah.
We got kind of carried away there.
Well, we worked with the space given, and very much like Disney, we killed Frontierland mostly.
I feel like we brought it in for a decent landing, though.
Yeah.
Like it took us a minute. I feel like the Sleepy Hollow area that we created.
I like that transition to the villains thing. Yeah, I like that.
So today we're going to talk about Fantasyland.
And villains.
And Villains Land.
So should we start with villains because we're working our way around, and we've
Sure.
already given them the like transition from Sleepy Hollow.
So
which is where Katie is right now. In
Yeah,
Sleepy
Katie is
Hollow.
in Sleepy Hollow. You just had your head
You had
down
your head
on
down
a
on the
stuffed
hand
animal.
pillow.
So we're going to enter Villains Land near the Haunted Mansion. We pass through the Sleepy Hollow mini land.
Yeah.
And then we are back there into Villains Land. There's a Sleepy Hollow Headless Horseman roller coaster, etc. But we're now back in the dark reaches of the Villains
I hope like our entrance is like our portal is a bunch of dark rock, but like leading up to the dark rock, there's a pumpkin patch, and they start as like normal pumpkins, but then like they start to have carved jack-o'-lantern faces in them, and the vines start like growing over the rock.
I was actually leaning more towards this. You're in the dark woods of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
And you walk into the sort of thorny brambles like Maleficent created around the castle that we've seen in concept
Well, what
art
if the
for
pumpkin
Villains
vines turn into the thorny branch?
That's fine too.
Because
That's
I think
quite a
we
transition.
want to transition from the Headless Horseman to all the villains, right?
Right. So that's fine. We work our way into that. And now I have seen a lot of the concept art for the Villains Land, and some of it looks pretty good.
And by a lot, do you mean the one piece that they've...
I mean, I've looked at it a lot.
It's a big piece. You could zoom in. There's a lot to look at.
There is a lot there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that there's been, people want this Maleficent roller coaster. I'm not sure. Maleficent, look, she is the Mount Rushmore of villains. She's right there, like undoubtedly in the on the Mount Rushmore of villains.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want her to have a roller coaster. And I think there's a Disney villain that their roller coaster is right there in the film.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this, right? I think, why not some Emperor's New Groove and we have the Yzma roller coaster? Now, that's 2 roller coasters next to each other, but I think this can be an indoor, dark family coaster. So it's kind of a coaster, kind of a dark ride. Universal has done this. You know, I think the Mummy's kind of like that, right? The Mummy
Where
is...
you stop along the way for scenes.
stop along the way for different scenes. You see things. Hagrid's even does this, not indoors, but some sort of...
Guardians was supposed to do this.
Well, they only
Story
cut
for another
44
day.
animatronics from that or something like that.
That had a tumultuous development.
Yeah. So the Yzma coaster, I think, is great. And you can actually... You're first introduced to this coaster early on in the film. It reappears later, but you can actually then take that coaster to go through the rest of the story of the Emperor's New Groove.
I mean, the pull the lever Kronk thing, whether people like the movie or not, we live in the age of viral social media. And so everybody knows that just from social media. And so people would be on board. I don't think it has to be. Look, the strength of the IP is actually, I think, profoundly stronger than people thought it was going to be. Like that one in particular has aged like a fine wine, where when it came out, like some people liked it, but it really, like, the world didn't go see it. And then over time, I think people had there was an animated series and some direct-to-video things, and people really gravitate towards it. And then I think as people got older and had seen it on TV or the like, people were like, oh, that movie's actually really funny.
Yeah.
And so it has more of a life now than it did when it came out. Man, when that came out, it was like a wet fart. That's what that release was like. I remember like I don't even know that there were meet and greets initially. Like I don't think Disney even thought enough of the movie to like roll the character out into a park. I will tell you, Treasure Planet, at least Ben was like in the park for 5 minutes in Tomorrowland like that winter. But I don't know that Cusco came out. Maybe it's studios, but I don't remember it happening. That's how little they believed in that movie. Speaking of tumultuous development, I believe it's called The Sweatbox. It is a unauthorized documentary that was made of the making of Emperor's New Groove. And most of the movie is Sting pissed at how the movie's going. Like him actively cursing at what's happening, because when he was pitched the film, they told him it's going to be The Lion King, but in South America. And then it did not become The Lion King in South America. It became a weird comedy movie with David Spade.
So I think where this is going to be located, just because you mentioned South America, I think Peru is probably the logical location where this took place.
Yeah. I love that you're just like, let's get away from talking about the Emperor.
The indoor coaster, the building is going to have to be very, very well dressed set, right? We can't just have a big gravity building visible. We're going to have to actually dress it out, use hills, use landscape and all this. But some of that will also, the sight lines between that and our Coco attraction, which is going near Big Thunder Mountain, there is some logical there are some geographical through lines between Mexico and South America.
We can architecturally pull that off, yeah.
So I think this makes a lot of sense. We have the Yzma coaster. We tell the whole story. We don't have to name it just yet. But obviously it starts with Kronk pulling the lever.
Yeah.
Right? And we go through the whole story of the Emperor's New Groove, which is, I feel like, sort of an underrated IP that a lot of people identify with.
I think just that whole the whole ending of that movie and a ride, it's very chaotic. It lends itself to a roller coaster. Yeah. Like them just transforming into several different creatures in a row would be really fun.
A story coaster, I guess we call this. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what they called Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah. So when you exit, though, what I think would be cool is we have a hut, and I want to not to copy off of Epic Universe, but I think it would be cool to have a tavern of sorts. It doesn't even have to be alcoholic stuff, but similar to the Burning Blade, where you're like it exists in this place where there's villains everywhere, and all the menu are the different like potions that the different Disney villains have.
I had this on my list.
Oh, do you have
Yzma's Potion Palace?
Okay. I don't just want Yzma, though. I want the old hag
Yeah, but she
potion
could have
and
like if they all live in this same like we're in this alternate world where they all are in the same place.
Right.
She certainly could like have picked up potions from other villains.
Yeah.
They don't need to be there, but she could have like traded with them.
Yeah, okay. That works for me. Do we have the we don't have the Monster Hunter though in the tavern.
I think Kronk comes through. I think we have Kronk walking around like interacting with people. So there is, I don't know what the logistics on this would be, but there are a couple of performers who can do Kronk very well. If you've ever been on a Disney Cruise Line cruise and seen like that it's not Villains Tonight, that was a stage show.
Oh, that was
There's
bad,
that like
bad
Villains
show.
game show that's like
Villains
Hollywood
Game Night.
Squares. Yeah. And, the person they have played Kronk in that, it's pre-recorded, but that person's in the company. But man, that person should be rolled out into the park because that would be tremendous. Like that would be, I think him just bumbling around the restaurant and maybe, they got to have his, like he makes cupcakes, right? Or muffins. What does he make? He bakes something.
Kronk?
Yeah, in the movie, he makes something.
Pickle?
No, he's a baker. Hold on, I'm going to find it.
Didn't he have some like something with pickles in it?
Pickles?
Spinach or something?
Kronk baking. Oh, they're spinach puffs.
Spinach puffs.
We
yeah.
gotta have the spinach puffs,
Yeah.
right? Because you need like a light bite or two. Like that Wendy just
Teach
came around
kids
with
to eat.
spinach.
It's a recipe in Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, it's in Dreamlight Valley.
Oh,
That's why
it's-
Wendy knew. That's why. Yeah, spinach. We gotta have the spinach puffs, and he should walk around the restaurant in the chef hat,
Okay.
the baker hat.
Here's a big question about like a larger question about the land in general is we're going to have a castle of some kind.
Yeah.
And where does that need to be? Because sightline wise, it makes sense to have it early in the land so that on the rest of the land you can look and watch fireworks and they sort of are over the castle. So
I think that's kind of where it is in the concept art.
Yeah.
It's not early, but it's in the middle back. It's on top of a show building, essentially.
Oh, put it on top of Yzma's show building.
No, Yzma's kind of to the
she's
left.
Kind of to the,
I think sort of like the concept art looks in real life. I think that's where it's going.
I think Mark Brickey had a great idea when he talked about every night the villains are plotting to take over the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And so I want millions of LEDs all over this, smart lighting throughout this land. And it's dark and brooding and scary. And every night the villains are trying to take over the Magic Kingdom. And then they say, oh, there's no such thing as magic. Nobody believes in magic. And then they find the one kid who, starts the spark of magic that goes to the rest of the land. And for a brief moment, the villain's land lights up and is beautiful and nice and not scary. Right?
I would
leading
say
up to the fireworks.
Similar to like what they do in Galaxy's Edge, I would love if there's essentially the same fireworks show but a different soundtrack and different effects going off where you are. Mm-hmm. That would be pretty neat. I don't know that that's going to happen, but in our version, I think it should.
Why not? Look, if you go to Disneyland, there are 1, 2, 3, at least 4 distinct fireworks viewing experiences where you have it's a small world area.
Rivers of America.
You have Main Street USA. You have the Phantasmic Theater area, the Rivers of America, that has the different show elements that are projected on water there. Yeah. And then you have back in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a completely different show, all with one set of fireworks. Mm-hmm. And I think the Magic Kingdom now is so big that why not do that? Disneyland, if Disneyland can have 4 distinct areas, how can the Magic Kingdom not? Right? No, you make more money doing this.
Walt Disney
you
World
you sell these experiences throughout the park in different areas. I think
Villains. I think Villains got a fan response, the likes of which I have not seen in 18 plus years of doing this. This has mass appeal. This, I think, in all the ways that we thought Galaxy's Edge was going to be the end all be all project of Disney Imagineering, I think Villains Land has to be that. I think it has to be what Galaxy's Edge. Like Galaxy's Edge is a fantastic land, but it just didn't connect or succeed in the way I think everyone wanted it to. I think Villains has to be that. I think Villains has to be this thing that opens and it changes, the Walt Disney World landscape forever. And this would be a big part of it is crafting an entertainment experience that's unique to that area.
We just talked about canon and things like that, and absolutely, the villains have to be villains. None of this BS that we came up where Maleficent is sort of a sympathetic figure in these Angelina Jolie movies.
No,
she
and
has to be evil and a villain.
Yeah, so the story
not
Disney,
a misunderstood victim of
the story
circumstance.
Disney's going with is one of the villains has conjured a spell that will bring all the villains together, and I assume with the plot to take over the Magic Kingdom. That would be my assumption.
Right.
I don't think you do any better than that. I think that's a perfect story, and I think that keeps everyone evil as you'd like them. Absolutely.
What if Breaky's idea of a kid kind of helping save the Magic Kingdom is woven into the fireworks? So you have this distinct villains theme to the fireworks, and at the end, the kid saves it all and turns it into all of the Magic Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So now it's nice and pretty for your walk home, for your walk out of the park. I think that'd be cool.
Well, the problem is that the fireworks don't always mean the close of the park.
Okay.
So that's
then it just goes back
I
to
think
being
it just
evil.
resets a few moments later.
That's fine.
I think after the
The
show,
villains
it
have
just-
been repelled. Now,
Yeah.
Okay. We do that. How many attractions are we thinking we can fit in this land? We've got the transition Sleepy Hollow coaster. We now have the Yzma family story coaster.
What is the third attraction?
I don't know. I want to say like Chernabog or Maleficent needs something.
I mean, so the original idea for the Bald Mountain attraction, which was going to go in Fantasyland, was I think it was all of the villains competing to be like number one villain, and so you'd go through each scene, and each villain is trying their worst to do bad things to you.
What is our ride system? We have a lot of boat rides.
It was a log flume.
We have a lot of boat rides already. We have a lot of roller coasters. I think maybe a trackless ride might work. No, look at him. He says no, sir. No.
I hate to be that guy. I think it's a boat ride. I know that's not creative.
Look, I love a good boat ride.
Like we're going, like the villains lend themselves to, like, I don't know. There's something about going down a haunting river. Think about
Hades.
Hades has the river Styx, and yeah, I think there's something there. I think it's got to be a boat ride. I think we cut the Tiana boat ride that was like pirates, right? I think not at the thrill level of Tiana. I think like a pirates level boat ride for villains.
Yeah, I do want something that's actually scary. Like maybe not so scary that kids can't go on it, but like gives them a little. I want kids to feel a genuine tinge of fear when they go.
A notch below Monsters Unchained.
Yeah, not Monsters Unchained.
Yeah,
which would like I don't know if we want to do a Kuka Arm attraction in our Villains Land, but it's. Yeah, we're doing boats, roller coasters, and one trackless ride that we've added so far.
I mean, that's kind of the Magic Kingdom way, isn't it?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be opposed to one old school, high capacity Omnimover dark ride for something that is not breaking any new ground technologically, something that's reliable, that has high uptime to keep, because we're going to have a lot of new people coming to the Magic Kingdom. They're going to be mad if they can't do a bunch of stuff. We need a high uptime, old school Omnimover. I'm thinking, I don't know, Haunted Mansion type of experience somewhere. That could be in Maleficent's castle. That could be.
I mean, the boat ride gets us that capacity, actually better capacity.
Yeah.
I don't. You're so close to Mansion. You're so close to Mansion that it might be a little weird. Are we doing the Ursula spinner? Like that thing's been pitched 100 times. Are we not doing like spinning cars on the end of her tentacles? I'm thinking like to
twirl and
differentiate.
it looked like twirl and hurl over at Universal Studios.
Yeah, but no, I don't want to do just like a Dumbo. I think like attached to the tentacles are like boats and they're able to spin.
No, I want something like the Luigi ride at DCA.
But with what?
We just have independent vehicles out on it.
But what's our theme?
Ursula, you're in bubble. You're in bubbles. I don't know. You can make that anything. You don't have to.
There's got to be a villain that
flying
lends
tired.
itself to that system.
Yeah, it's Pain and Panic's dancing.
I'm gonna find a
cars.
list of Disney villains.
I mean, we could recycle that stupid. We could recycle that stupid alien swirling saucers ride system if we had to.
No more of those.
Yeah, we've got 3 of those in the world. That's enough, right?
Enough is enough. Queen of Hearts. We already have like an Alice.
We do
there.
need some kind of like cheap carnival ride tucked in there.
I think I hate to be that guy, but I think the Ursula thing works, and I think the thing that would make it different was, it's like the tilting. It does the tilting thing, but also the boats, like you can spin them like a teacup. Maybe, I don't know.
So when I was a kid going to Worlds of Fun, there were two things. One was like an octopus that spun around that had those things.
Yeah.
This is from the 70s, right?
Yeah, we could certainly
Also
do
at Worlds of
modern
Fun, though, what they had was a ride called the Flying Dutchman, which is just the thing where it goes around and around, and you're sitting in your own ship, your own boat, and as it spins, you go higher, it lifts up, and you go higher and higher. Cheap carnival ride, but in theme with you're in Eric's ship or something like that, stabbing Ursula in the gut if you want to.
See, I think if we do the boat ride and it ends with like a splash, like a small, like a pirate-sized splash outside, it would be cool to have the Ursula spinner like against the water.
Yeah. Oh, the boat ride. You know how the boat ride starts? Oh. You know how you used to go through the like projected fog effect on Pirates of the Caribbean? You do that, but it's the magic mirror.
Oh, okay.
And you sail right through the magic mirror into the...
You build the frame, but the in between the frame is
fog
mist.
and projection.
Yeah,
effect.
that would be really cool. You're going through the mirror.
Yeah.
And that's how we visit all the villains. Although they've been all conjured. They're all there, I suppose.
Maybe it's just your view into their like world.
Maybe it transports you to their actual locales.
Yeah,
because you probably want to visit them in their actual environment and not all in the same environment.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
That could be kind of cool. I think in
trying
general,
to think about this flat ride though.
Flat ride.
I think we do the Ursula thing.
You have already put more thought into this than they put into the flat rides at Pixar Pier.
Yeah, because the Inside Out one makes no sense. It's not a thing that exists in where you don't fly on a memory bubble. Like, it's not a thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Is there room for any kind of interactive game ride? Or are those played out? Your Buzz Lightyear,
I don't think we want to shoot. We're in their
Toy
realm.
Story
I think we're constantly in peril. I don't think
you're fighting
we have a weapon to fight them off with. I think what I would like is in the story is like they're recruiting henchmen and all of us are trying to be henchmen. Like, so there's various show moments throughout the land, like when villains come out on little stages or little show spaces. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Captain Jack Sparrow's pirate tutorial, but each villain like tries to, they're looking for their henchmen. So like Gaston needs you to be strong, and what else? I don't know. Maleficent needs you to be help cast spells or something, like things like that. I don't know.
I just don't know I don't know. We're being a little bit too realistic, trying to put some cheap flat spinner ride in this immersive land, and maybe there's something more incredible we can create.
Is there?
There's got to be look at all the ideas that people have had over the years. There are different parks you go to that have. I don't know. I don't want to really base anything on Spider-Man or any of these kinds of rides, but these are ride systems that are slightly different than what
I just
we're
think
basically
for size,
saying. Water coaster.
Our third attraction can't be huge. I don't think it would fit.
I would like it to be high capacity though.
What if we did an attraction that you talked about, the Luigi system, the trackless thing?
Yeah.
What if we did a system where it's like a couple of the spell casting villains and they're having an argument.
They're pushing you around.
And they're like, look what I can do. And I can do that, like Jafar and Dr. Facilier and like a couple of the magical ones.
And they can put you into formations and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like
Luigi
different things. Like one
dance.
person makes you spin, another like makes you dance, and maybe Alameda Slim makes you. He yodels, and all the vehicles get in line like cattle because he's yodeling.
We need. Are we doing a big show there? There's already a villain show.
I like
Hollywood
the little
Studios.
show idea. I think like villains
Mini
come out
stages.
and they interact with a group of people and they try to like see if you're good enough to work with them.
Yeah, and a lot of villains walking through the land.
Yeah, and you just get to have all those little moments with them. I think that's the way to go.
Are we doing a big restaurant? We got to have a big sit down restaurant.
Yeah, for the sit down, I had Hades Hideaway.
Okay.
I thought that was a fun idea because you know what fast food we don't have at a Disney park? Greek.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't like a hero?
You can get to the 0 to hero.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't it be funny? It's like I hate heroes, and it's the Greek one. They're like, oh, but not that one. There's a lot of comedy there, I think.
This is going to ruin ideas I have for Fantasyland, but okay.
And
Maybe
like, there's
not,
a
maybe not.
poster of Hades, like, destroy that hero. It's him housing a sandwich. Oh.
No, I mean, that works. I don't know if we do this table service or if we do.
I think it'd be
quick
cool. You
serve.
do like a pair of them, a pain and panic. Like one is sweet and savory, and the other's spicy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's some fun ideas. You could do Mediterranean bowls, which is a hot commodity in the fast food world at the moment. That's a growing trend. I think it'd be a fun concept.
All right.
What did you have? Did you have one?
No, I just thought like a fancy sit down in a villain's castle type of.
But what is it? Like Cinderella's Royal Table, but for villains?
Lady Tremaine has been relegated to running a restaurant now.
She has her own, but it's
And
the
they're yelling at
opposite
the-
experience of royalty.
Yes, they're like yelling at like stepsisters, and it's very much like when you go to 50s primetime, you know.
We'll say they did at the Halloween party many years ago. They did a villain's takeover of Royal Table, and it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. They had the Tremaines perform Royals.
Oh no.
And will never be. And it was the best thing I've ever seen. It's actually a pretty decent idea to have a table service where like the Tremaines are the hosts and they invite the other villains. You can meet a couple of them at your table.
Yeah.
But they got to have this Royals thing in there. Like,
And they're trying to marry them off, right? They're coming up and
in 2025, Disney would never use that storyline, but I like that idea.
Yeah.
I would want to do
We're
that
sticking with
idea. Yeah. No, I
Chateau
love this.
Tremaine is the restaurant, and it's a table service restaurant. Think 50s primetime, I think, but in their castle that is now dilapidated because their manor that's now dilapidated because Cinderella has moved out.
Tremaine's unloyal table.
Yeah.
No, it's a good idea. I like it. I like this Villains Land. I think it's a good idea.
Again, I want a lot of water features, but dark.
Yeah.
The lighting is going to keep the water,
Waterfalls.
like deep hues of purple or green.
Yeah.
With dark,
Yeah.
rock work everywhere.
I think we're looking at like the dark version of Fantasy Springs. I think that Fantasy Springs rock work where like there's faces carved in the rock, but they're kind of hidden.
Right.
There's a lot of waterfalls and all of it's lit beautifully. Like we want that, but the villains version. So I want to see the rock twist into forms of different villains and sidekicks and all those things. And I like what Disney has shown us so far architecturally. I like the Art Nouveau idea. I think it's pretty interesting. I wouldn't change a thing as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I think boat ride, roller coaster, and some sort of trackless dance attraction.
How far does this land stretch west? Because what I'm thinking is
Come back around the other side of Fantasyland? Is that what you're doing?
no, the other direction, right? Where they're clearing all this land,
Yeah.
and you're going this way, right?
Well, I think we put Coco's somewhere here.
Coco's at Big Thunder Mountain.
Somewhere in that zone, yeah.
So, but does Villains Land wrap around on the other side here to the?
I think to fit everything
the
we
west?
just
Because
listed,
then
maybe.
you could almost have that an entrance. That could be your entrance for your fancy new hotel.
Villains Hotel.
I don't know. Just a thought. Just let it stew. We don't have to commit to that yet. We don't have the money yet.
Okay.
We're waiting on next quarter, depending on the stock price.
Yeah.
We'll determine if we can do that. All right. Do you want to go on the rest of
We should talk about
Fantasyland?
Fantasyland.
All right. This might take a while.
Oh yeah, I thought you didn't have much.
No, but I think it's going to be a lot of talking.
Okay.
First of all, we've got to fix the facade to It's a Small World. It's junk. Compared to Disneyland, compared to probably any other It's a Small World in the world,
Yes.
that means pushing the building back, probably the show building back, and doing a big, real facade. I don't love where we have It's a Small World. I get it. It's been there forever.
Oh, I want to move it.
Yeah. I want to move it
Can I
too.
be that guy?
You know, I want to move it.
Get rid of the Speedway.
So, yes, although I had another idea because I wanted to annex Speedway into Fantasyland
Yeah.
and build a Hercules attraction. But I'm okay with moving Small World there, and maybe we could put maybe we can still use that space where it's a Small World is and do my Cinderella Dark Ride or
Does
a
Small World
Hercules
fit
ride.
over by the Speedway? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Get rid of the Speedway.
I don't know that.
Nobody likes the Speedway.
I agree. I don't want to keep it in it. I assumed in all of our plans the Speedway was simply not there, but I want to see if Small World.
Yeah, and it's
actually
been
fits.
incorporated into Fantasyland instead of
Pretty
Tomorrowland.
big box. Oh yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I like this idea because Small World's roots are at the World's Fair, and maybe we'll have a little bit of World's Fair inspiration in.
And it's a nice
Tomorrowland.
transition between Tomorrowland
Yeah.
and your World's Fair stuff
Yeah,
and fantasy.
yeah.
I think that could work. You know, at Disneyland, it's in a weird spot, but it really works.
If we move Small World, what's going where Small World is?
That's either my Cinderella Dark Ride that we talked about like a month and a half ago, where when you leave, there's a guy pouring hot molten glass on your foot to mold a nice glass slipper for you. Cinderella Dark Ride. Why is there not a Cinderella Dark Ride? That makes no sense. There's plenty of room back there to do something cool.
I don't know if it makes sense back there.
Where else does it make sense?
I know
Where-
people are going to yell at their TVs right now or their phones and be like, "What about a Rapunzel ride?" I'm voting we hold Rapunzel for a different park.
I know.
Is my vote.
Yeah, I agree. Same with Frozen, right? These big. We already have a Frozen attraction. It's an imperfect Frozen
It doesn't
attraction.
fit the group we have for Magic. The Magic Kingdom one is really more classic Disney into Renaissance. It doesn't break that period a lot. Here's what I would like to do. What I would like to do is also demolish Peter Pan's flight.
No, I have ideas on that too, but go ahead.
I would like to demolish Peter Pan's flight and build the higher capacity, modernized, and very, very thoughtful version from Shanghai across where Small World is. I would like to give it more space and build it on that side. And then I think your Cinderella thing works better closer to the castle. Maybe that goes in the existing, because I don't think the Peter Pan, or I don't think the Cinderella thing's an e-ticket. It's kind of a simple story, and I think you want like classic
You don't need
dark
e-tickets
ride
all over fantasy.
No, I think you need like classic dark ride for Cinderella, and I think you do that across the way where Peter Pan is.
By the Gus meet and greet, the Gus and Jacques meet and greet.
Although, like,
I'm having to add that for Lee. Lee will definitely want that. We could also nuke Princess Fairy Tale Hall and put.
It's such a small space. You
Yeah.
can put the Cinderella. I actually think it makes more sense there. What if we use the Peter Pan plot is not big. Although I guess, again, like the princesses you want to have near the castle too. It kind of makes sense. It's tough. I think the Cinderella ride has to go where Fairy Tale Hall is. I think it goes there.
I think so. It doesn't have to be huge. I mean, it's not like there haven't been there's space back there somehow.
Yeah.
In that, it's not like there hadn't been other stuff there before.
Yeah.
Peter Pan, you'll get some backlash for this, but I agree with you because right now what Peter Pan is a really long line for like a minute and a half ride.
Yeah.
The ride is not long enough because there's not enough space.
Like it'll break my heart because like what Peter Pan is to me is the nostalgia. It is the tinfoil volcano and the black curtains and but
And the
let's
traffic
be
in
honest,
London on a bicycle chain,
Yeah, and in
yeah.
2025, like that's charming to us, but is it everything it could be? And also like, is it great show that people wait that long for that attraction when multi-row versions of the boat and the ride exist in other parks? Is it shouldn't the most visited park in the world have the highest capacity version of Peter Pan? And look, there are things I would do as homages. I would have the London scene be more traditional. I would literally move props over from the old one. Like, so the London scene, I'd have new projection technology, but I'd also have the old, like the bike chains
Some of
and
the
all of
practical
that.
effects,
Yeah, and then also the volcano. If you keep the tinfoil volcano somewhere and the old London, you can get away with the rest because everyone will be like, oh, how cute. It's great that that's still there. But then everyone will be so wowed. I hate Shanghai Disney. It's like my least favorite Disney park, really and truly. But there are a handful of things that really shine in that park, and one of them is that Peter Pan attraction. It is so wonderfully thoughtful. It is such a nice update where it feels like the classic attraction brought into modern day. They did all new 2D animation, which real Disney animators worked on. It's a beautiful ride. And I think it would really resonate with the Florida crowd. And again, like Disneyland's never going to touch the classic version, really. So you'll always have, somewhere in the U.S. you can see what the ride used to be. But also the Shanghai, it's not that big a departure. It's just the modernization of a classic.
You know what else we could put there?
What?
In the old Peter Pan.
What's that?
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
No, Eric, no one.
He's coming back.
Here's what I think you should do for Mr. Toad, which makes too much sense. You have that stupid Friar's Nook restaurant.
This is actually on my list.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, I love Robin Hood, but no one knows what this is. You literally made these super popular Toad-related items for the 50th. They were like the only 50th food that people remember, other than the water you swirl, crystalline Mickey into. Why is that not Toad Hall?
What was it called? Not Shimmering Sips. Was it
I think it was Shimmering Sips. I think that was the name.
So my idea for that is actually indoors. We build it out a little bit, and that is
you could come out
Mr. Winky's Pub. Mr. Winky, the guy with the spinning beer mugs.
I'm sorry, I don't want a bar in Fantasyland. Like that's where I draw the line.
We have Gaston's Tavern. I didn't say it has to be alcoholic.
A bar with actual alcohol.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I think you do Toad Hall. I think you can. The facade of Toad Hall is small.
Yeah.
I think you can put that there and have all your counters and have a quick serve with minimal seating, and it's this nice homage. It serves a purpose, and it can't be less popular than it is now with the Friar Tuck theme.
Yeah.
It's begging to be something, that little space, and I think that's a nice love. It's a nice love letter to your fans, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt anything. Like it's not a big leap of faith. Like people will need hamburgers or whatever you serve there, and so
there is Friar's Nook there, but I really want to kill off Pinocchio Village House because I hate that place. Their food is so bad.
I think if we're
Retheme
erasing
it.
so much of 70s Disney World, I want to leave Village House alone.
Can we change the menu?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying the food should stay, but that interior. I mean, the problem is you're going to lose the windows. What if the windows change? What if they look into like one of the early scenes of Peter Pan instead?
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
What I like about
I don't care as long as I don't have to eat those flatbreads.
What I like about the Shanghai Peter Pan is the load area. You start in London, and so you could just have like the London Park, like the Pinocchio restaurant just looks like the London Park, and obviously like you hide the London accent so it doesn't look like you're in a German or Italian restaurant looking into London necessarily. But you have to. I think Village House is the one thing we keep. Number one, it has huge capacity. And number two, I think that's like the most 70s thing at that park still. And I want to leave a little bit of what the park was. Even in our fantasy plan, I want there to be some places you can go in the park and still be like, this is what Disney World used to be.
So controversially, I think that the Beast Castle looks bad.
Yeah.
That whole area there are cool things in Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Oh, yeah.
But there is a Beauty and a Beast ride in Japan that is unbelievable, and we've got to make room for that in our park.
Are they going to want to give up? I mean, we're building several other table services.
No, I think we can relocate all of this.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to hate me. Because it might fit back in Storybook Circus, where Storybook Circus is.
What are you going to do with Dumbo? You can't get rid of Dumbo.
Dumbo is just a flat, a boring spinner ride. You can plop him anywhere in Fantasyland and it works.
Dare you.
So you put him maybe where Enchanted Tales with Belle is. But you don't need the whole Storybook Circus. That's too much land. That is too much land for nothing happening. Well, no, we're gonna. I don't know how we do this.
You have to leave the circus alone.
I hate the circus.
It has the park's only kiddie coaster. We have to build a kiddie coaster somewhere else.
No, we just built a family coaster in Sleepy
That's
Hollow.
not the same as
we
a
built
kiddie coaster. You
a
need like
story
a kid's
coaster.
first coaster somewhere in this park. You have to have something like the Barnstormer somewhere. You must.
Good. That is now LeFou's coaster.
What do you want to put where Storybook Circus is?
The Beauty and the Beast ride from Tokyo. Right?
I mean, I love that ride, but
And now it's LeFou's coaster.
Controversially, could we just get rid of Little Mermaid?
I'm okay with that too.
That's never reached its full potential. I like that ride.
Yeah.
But it's never reached its full potential, and there is a lot of Little Mermaid elsewhere at Disney World. So I think like we rebuild the castle in the full scale back there. Also, it's a good way to hide it, way behind Mine Train.
Here's
build
controversially.
the castle out there. I don't know how you do the transition to Be Our Guest, like where it is now. I don't know how you do that.
I don't know. But I do think that Mermaid has one of the best queues in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, absolutely.
I just think the ride is not in high demand. I don't think
It
there's
didn't connect for some reason.
for whatever reason. Like, look, The Little Mermaid more than anything signals that renaissance of Disney animation. It is maybe the most important piece of Disney animation in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Because it really brought the company back.
Absolutely.
You have to celebrate her.
But she's in Filler Magic.
She
has a show at Studios. She has
Get her a meet and
She
greet.
has a hotel wing
Yeah.
at Art of Animation. I think that's enough. Like, I hate to be that guy, but I think that's enough. I think that Beauty and the Beast e-ticket would be pretty spectacular.
That park needs another e-ticket,
Yeah.
right? So
we've
only added 4 e-tickets.
The problem is the placement of Be Our Guest is the only problem in this because the way they design the land in Tokyo is perfect. You approach the village, you're out in the woods, and you have Maurice's cottage, and then you travel further and you walk through the village, and then beyond the village is the castle. And so your layout would be pretty much the same with the exception of the problem that Be Our Guest restaurant is in the middle of all that somehow.
We have a lot of money for this project, so we could just rebuild it somewhere else.
But what goes where it is then? That's a nice big plot over there.
Maybe the ride goes there and the restaurant goes where Little Mermaid is. I don't know.
Here, but if money was no object, if money was
Right,
no
if you could
object,
wave a magic wand.
I bulldoze everything from Be Our Guest out to Mermaid.
Right.
And then, so you have Enchanted Tales, then you have the village, then you have,
Our
you
Guest.
build the castle, and essentially as an offshoot of the castle, you find a way to make it look like people have gone through the castle doors into the restaurant. But then you also have the attraction go through the castle also.
I noticed in your video from that attraction that when you walk into Beast Castle, it's decrepit and crappy
Yeah.
and old and run down.
Yeah.
And then when you leave, they are now,
So the restaurant
the
has to
curse
be on
has
the
been
side where
broken.
you exit.
And then when you exit, the castle is new and shiny and beautiful.
And you could actually, if you look close enough, you can see where the paint on the castle changes,
Yeah.
which is pretty neat. I think the restaurant has to be it probably has to be on the right side of the building where the exit is. So the idea is you're after the story. You're there after things have
correct.
changed.
Well, I don't know, because there are parts of Be Our Guest restaurant has a whole wing where the Beast is walking around and you're in his like
West
library or the West Wing.
Yeah, I think you still have that. Like he just hasn't fixed it up yet.
Okay.
Like you still,
But
look,
he's a beast. He's in beast form.
I do believe like one of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge problems is you have to give people the things they want, even if they don't necessarily make sense in the story you're telling. So in the story of Be Our Guest restaurant, we've been invited to the castle. This is after Belle and the Beast have gotten together and they've been through their adventure. But people want to see the West Wing and the rose with the falling petals. So you have to do it. It's okay. I think sometimes it's okay to break story if it's giving the guest what they specifically want. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Oh, well, we're in a timeline where Han Solo's dead. It's not giving people what they want. People didn't want to pilot the Millennium Falcon. People wanted to go on an adventure in the Millennium Falcon with Han and Chewie. Those are two different things. No one, like, yeah, I want to pull the lever, but I want to be there with Han Solo and Chewbacca. I want to go on an adventure with these characters I fell in love with on screen. That's the point of so many of these things. Is, Disneyland learned the hard way in the 50s through the 70s into Magic Kingdom. They learned the hard way with the Fantasyland rides that people didn't get it because you're supposed to be Peter Pan. You're Snow White. And so they weren't in the ride because the idea was you're that character. People didn't get it, and that's not what they wanted. It's on a much simpler, smaller scale, but it's the same thing. Where then you had to add those characters in so people felt like they're on the adventure with the characters. Not everyone doesn't always want to be the character. Sometimes they just want to go on an adventure with the character. And so I think the same thing applies here where, that doesn't make sense in the story we're telling you. He would have fixed that up, right? And the rose wouldn't still be losing petals. But it has to be.
I don't think people are married to the location of Be Our Guest restaurant. We can move it wherever we want in here.
We can, yeah. If money is no object and we are, not beholden to shareholders, we can do this.
Yeah. Look, we're going to have to close the park for upwards of a week.
No, we're doing
Maybe
this in
2 weeks.
phases. We're not doing this at once. This is going to take 10 to 15 years in phases to make this all happen. By the time we're done, most of these IPs will be irrelevant. This is what happens at Disney is you plot all this out and then it's like, well, we'll do that in 15 years. It's like, well, no one remembers this movie now.
So do we agree we're moving we're taking over Tomorrowland Speedway then putting
I originally wanted to put an Alice thing there, but I like this plan.
I like this plan. I do want to orient It's a Small World in a way that people can watch the fireworks with the projections on the facade like they can at Disneyland, which means that the building has to be facing Tomorrowland, right?
Yeah, that might be really hard.
It might be weird to do that.
I don't know that you can do that.
I guess we're adding a fireworks launch site.
Aren't the fireworks...
They're a little to the left.
They're like the left. Yeah, I don't think you can do it. I don't think it's doable.
All right. Well, we can still do a projection show.
Or... I have to fact check myself here.
Or you move the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train there and put It's a Small World where Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is.
Okay.
Are we keeping Winnie the Pooh?
I think here's what I would do. I think it'll fit. It's a big building. We can make this fit. Since we're knocking down Mermaid anyway, we can eat into a little bit of that space. What if we level the left side of Storybook Circus?
Okay.
So what if all the tents
I'm there.
and all of that and you put Small World there because then it would point at the fireworks.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes sense in a circus, but
we don't need the circus. We just need Dumbo.
Maybe we retheme this area to like a fantasy gardens of some kind.
Okay.
And so you try to make all these things work together. You have Dumbo and Small World, and we probably need to retheme the Barnstormer at this point to some fantasy garden IP, something that'll work with that.
Merida's coaster event. I don't care.
How about why don't you do Tinkerbell? Why don't we do a little coaster where you're like shrunk into the size of Tinkerbell and you go past all these little vignettes?
Okay.
And it's like,
Sure.
and it's some because in the film series she's a tinkerer, like she builds things. So what if she built like a little toy roller coaster for us to ride?
Sure.
So something like
We don't have any other toy roller coasters at all of Walt Disney World.
not necessarily toy, but like fairies made it.
Yeah.
Like a fairy built it.
That's fine.
And we'll
I sign off on it.
We built a bunch
Unless
of
we want to make a White Rabbit coaster. That would be cool too.
we built other splash pads so we can get rid of. This breaks my heart. I love Casey Jr., but we'll get rid of the splash pad. I want to keep the Casey Jr. engine though and work that into the train station somehow. So the station really doesn't change. It's just like a station in the garden area, like in a park. But then we have Casey Jr. there as some sort of propping.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, so we're
Then
we're
we get
a little
our
all over the
Small
place.
World.
So Small World and Dumbo and sort of a little bit of Pixie Hollow all exist in this garden space out in the back. Also, we're fixing the roof on the Mad Tea Party. I don't know that we could do the glass. What I've always been told is the glass roof, because it's Florida, is a bad idea.
Yeah, it turns into like baking people.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it has to be glass, but man, the tin roof that's up there does not look great. So we're gonna find some just a more ornate covering for the tea party. Just clean it up a little bit. And also, I think we're gonna rip down Cheshire Cafe and make it.
How
a little
about
more
a
ornate.
giant green hat, like the Mad Hatter's hat, is the roof of the attraction?
We're butting up against Tomorrowland, so I don't know if we can go that far.
All right.
I think again in this, because we're doing this gardens area, these will be lush European gardens. I think we get away with an cute little ornate roof.
Okay.
And fix Cheshire Cafe a bit, give it a little more seating, make it a little more gardenish. Just a whole garden area runs down that whole side of Mine Train, essentially from the bridge all the way up to. And I say I don't know that that's the best meet and greet space. The little garden, the storybook garden on the side path to the castle.
Yeah.
That should go, and let's make a more formal counter service out of Cheshire Cafe. Let's build teacups you could sit in and all stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was given an opportunity to get rid of Winnie the Pooh and the teacups, and I did neither. I should be celebrated for my restraint.
We're fixing Winnie the Pooh, though. We're going to add nice effect. The footprint is the footprint. It's boxed in there. But let's at least fix it up. Let's put some better figures in there, some newer lighting and projection effects, and let's plus that ride up. Let's make it at least worthwhile. Is what I would say.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad. All right. Well, I think we've perfected Fantasyland. There are no imperfections anymore in Fantasyland.
I don't know. Our garden. We'll see how Charlie draws this garden thing because it's a little all over the place.
Let us know what you think. How we're doing. We're almost done with Magic Kingdom, and then we'll move on to the other parks. But happy October to everyone. I hope everyone's having a great time. And we'll see you again soon on the WDW News Today podcast.
See you real soon. In
Oops,
the garden,
I said see you
in the
soon.
fantasy gardens of Small World, Pixies, Mad Tea Parties, and Dumbo.